Okay, I'm just literally. Okay, welcome to Conscious Crypto. I want to record again because I didn't have my mic properly wired up. And so the audio quality on my Day Trader's Diary first entry was abysmal. And that's what it is because, again, I noted how I can't wait to look back on that video one day, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and marvel at all the intricacies, the novice nature of it, the novice notions that I make as a younger trader, and then to look back at it as a seasoned vet, much like Mr. Beast's verse video, and where he is now, because if you just look at that man and the brand he's created, it's impressive. But don't want to go too far into that. Just wanted to chop it up real quick to talk about
the federal funds rate. Okay, we got a Fed funds meeting tomorrow. Now, there's not an expectation that they're going to do anything but hold, which is exactly what the forecast says here. However, this is an opportunity for the markets to get some volatility. And because it is a catalyst for markets to move, you tend to see reversals here or major continuations around these days. So I've just been noticing the market for the past few days and wanting to take a trade, but honestly just not being willing to. There's a bit of dual-sided conflicted signals here. So like looking at Bitcoin, I was okay getting in over here. I want to make sure that disable for now. I was okay with getting in here and catching it, especially when it hit the extreme CPR support line and riding it up. But like I began to see just signs of like, okay, it hit the 1 hour 800, then it hits the 4 hour 800 and gets rejected. But on a 15-minute, this thing was getting just wildly rejected. Like liquidity was just getting eaten up to the upside. I mean, these are vector candles and wicks. Boom, just no go. Okay, just grinding it up. And sometimes this happens. On rare occasions, this happens when
Bitcoin is ready to explode to the upside, and it's just grinding out, and there's just buying pressure, but there's also selling pressure, and so it's overcoming selling pressure.
And I'm not even gonna speak to liquidity, but like it keeps coming down to places you expect it to and moving up, and then again moving off of compressed CPR, which is volatility indicator, and moving out with volatility. But again, it's getting to these points and it's getting rejected with vectors, meaning there's a lot of transactions happening in here. It's like the idea of an unfinished auction, right? Finished auctions, unfinished auctions, where are the most transactions actually happening? And so people tend to use volume as an indicator for that. But so I'm seeing this, and again, I actually wanted to re-enter off of one of my signals on the cross here, and it's not a moving average cross, so don't even play me like a scrub. Though those work. Hey, again, back tested. I just don't like the hit rate on those, and I don't know how to play them exactly on entries, right? Unless you wait for the retest, and I don't think that's a high enough probability to play. But I haven't back tested it, so I'm not even gonna act like I'm above that strategy. So anyways, here it goes, like, right, tests 800 rejected, but got caught by the 200, which again, coming back to the 1 hour is near the CPR retest, which is something you call it a point of interest, but it's also caught by the 800 here, little double bottom and then a move again. But this rejection action has got me trippy. And then there's two hits, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, however you want to count it, of bearish divergence here, because technically higher high, higher high, higher high. And those are major higher lows, but it's just not clean. So though I want to go long, it's just not clean. And though I want to go short, I've been worked out of some of those. So I'm not sure right now. But again, what I think is going to happen tomorrow during the FMO is whatever move happens first is going to be the false move. I don't think we're going to get a double false move and then reversal. Like to the upside, then to the downside, then continuing up, or to the downside, then the upside, then all the way down. I think we're going to get a false move first. And it tends to be that before price action, if they're bringing the price up, it's because they're looking to drop it down. That's my general number one rule, is like, okay, if they're moving price up over the first few days, they're building or killing liquidity as much as they can. That's market makers, that's institutions, that's banks, that's whales, whatever you want to call it. That's the algorithms, the manipulation, right? It's just killing liquidity to the top, grabbing it, and then it's going to drop. Getting the highest price to sell from. Another way to think about it. However, because of this set of indicators that I like to look on the macro, here's the 5-day. Get rid of all drawings. Whoops. Just drawings, you guys. What the hell? There we go. Okay. Now that number will work. All right, here's what I'm struggling with, right? Okay. On the 5-day, you're getting a fresh cross on the TDI. Fresh cross of the slow moving average with the RSI, relative strength index. On a 5-day, that's a pretty damn good sign, right? You don't get a ton of those crosses, especially with this slow, outside of the Bollinger Band volatility. Plus, it's coming off the 40 region, which is a great rejection of the bearish control zone. Here, okay, here's another bull case. 2,500 is the new pivot to close down. So it just crossed up, right? Again, it has to close, which the next close is in 2 days, 3 days technically, 2 days and 23 hours, so 3 days. And right now we have a cross up. We have low volatility on the stochastic momentum. Great indicator. It's like it got a 98% hit rate on the 5-day chart. And then the BBWP, which is the Bollinger Band width percentile, which is a measure of volatility, is at extreme lows and like double bottoming out. Okay, so coming down, looking to expand. And so that expansion is going to be a monumental move. The only issue here right now is that it's at the 200, which is a great place for rejection. But we couple this with the 2-day, and the 2-day is crossing over the liquid 50, right? Which is a great trend line, essentially indicator. It's like, oh, okay, so this is flattening out and this is crossing up. That's the force that'll bring it back up. The 2-day is peeling up to the upside, relatively low volatility as long as it's above 2,500. The 5-day, as long as it's above 2,000, let's say 2,600. And go back to the 2-day. The 2-day volatility is at critical levels, 7% crossing up. We got to see this one get above about 15% to get that as a line. So there's a lot telling me right now that this thing is trying to go up, and the only thing that is really in the way is the resistance from this recent high, which be better looked at around 2,800, and these moving averages, specifically on the 5-day, maybe even the weekly, 5-day, stick that. So you can see a lot of respect for it here. Wick through, not quite, but wick, touch, push. You can see some rejection action here. And so there's just, there's enough respect to this line to be like, okay, it's nothing to fucking joke about. It's nothing to joke about. So anyways, again, I'm going to play this again where I am completely fine not taking a trade tomorrow. However, I will take a trade if I see one false move high. If I see a push high without anything to the downside, I'm taking that as a short. And I'm willing to risk that during trading. Yeah, during news, that's fine. I also might wait for the volatility to define itself and see about taking a trade, in the hours after the news event. So again, we got the FOMC everything at 12 o'clock, the press conference at 12:30. We'll see what is going down. Don't need to get too eager, right? October, November, that's when things start really cooking. People are coming back from their breaks. Big money managers are ready to slay. New options are being put on the table. New contracts are being put on the table because the expiry on the 15th, Friday the 15th, was a big one. So yeah, we'll see what's happening here. Just wanted to drop something because I like putting these these projections, right, based on probabilities out there. The probabilities are less tested on this, but so yeah, you could call this dubious speculation. Let's call it that. Cheerio.